Welcome to Danu on Fire right here on Hi TV, your luxury channel. Today we are eating and dining at Bold. It's a place where you can eat wholesome food, and I'm speaking to Andy. Hi, Andy.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I'm very happy to have you. There are people who like to Netflix and chill. There are people who like to just relax by the ocean, do things like this. There are also people who like to just run around the country. He's one of those people who just runs just to pass his time. So how often do you run?
Used to be a lot more, but now probably like once a week.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah. A lot less.
A lot less. So this whole journey called fitness, we have been in it for a long time.
Yeah.
Like I have been told that I should go to you for a trimmer version of me.
Okay.
So you
make
have
that
been you have been in it for a long time. Tell me what made you get into it. I don't think
Yeah.
at that time it was that popular. Fitness was not.
Yeah, so like I got into it kind of by mistake. And so I played golf pretty much my whole life, and I was aspiring to be a professional golfer. I became a professional golfer. And then during that time, I think it was like 2012, 2013, I turned professional in 2011. You okay there?
Yeah.
And so I obviously when you go into the professional game, you need to, now you're doing it full time. You're playing more golf. You have to be stronger. You have to be more conditioned.
Yeah.
Otherwise, your career is going to get cut short, right?
Correct. And you can't be always using a buggy.
Yeah, you can't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in professional golf, it's all walking.
Whoa.
Yeah. So you got to walk so a golf course on average is about 7,000 meters, and so you're probably walking like 10 to 12K on average, and then you're swinging the golf club. And so it's not high levels of fitness, but there's a lot of volume. So you're playing like 40 weeks a year, and so I had to get stronger. And so I went to a gym, and I worked with a coach, and he basically told me that I needed to do Olympic weightlifting, squats, deadlifts, presses, all the basics that you would have to do to get stronger, right? And so as I was doing it, one day I was sitting in the gym, and then I saw this flurry of people just walk in, right? Run in, and they started doing pull-ups and started doing kettlebell swings and all this stuff. And I asked him, "What is that? I want to
do that."
He said, "That's CrossFit. You don't need to do it for your golf, but do it once a week." So that's literally where it started for me with CrossFit. So I went Wednesdays, and then Wednesdays turned into Monday and Wednesdays, turned into Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, and so that's how I got introduced to CrossFit. And then I came here in 2014 to party. That's literally why I came for a week to just go out. Yeah, just relax.
You were in another country doing this CrossFitting
so
thing.
I was born and raised in Dubai. And so I was living there, and we used to come here just to party.
Right.
You know how it is, right?
And you couldn't party in Dubai?
You could, but then it's different.
You wanted the whole baila touch.
Yeah.
Right.
Dubai is a bit pretentious.
Very beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful and it's a bit pretentious. Sometimes it's...
And Colombo is not? Where are you
It's not as
living,
pretentious, I promise you. Colombo is a little pretentious, but not as bad. And so we came here to party. And when I came here, I was looking for a place. So actually, to backtrack, I needed to get my visa changed, and it's a bit of a process. So like you're under a company, and they give you a visa, and if you want to change your visa to another company, you got to exit the country, come back in.
Yeah.
So I use that as an excuse, right? And so I came here, and I was here for like a couple of weeks, and I said, hey, listen, I need to train. And so I looked for a place to train, and there was no CrossFit gym.
Yeah,
so
at that time it was not such a...
Nothing.
Yeah.
And so I was like searching, and I found this one place in Navla. At the time it was called Glory, right? And I called them and I was like, hey, listen, I want to use the gym. And they're like, you can't use it.
They have
Glory.
changed the name now?
Yeah, it's Vaj now. Did you used to go there?
No, it's just that the name Glory was funny.
Yeah, Vaj is even worse. And so I went there. They said you need someone. You can't use a CrossFit gym unless the coach is there. I was like, so when's the coach there? It's like, only on the weekends. I said, it's Tuesday, man. Can I come and use it? They're like,
That's why you need to be in Dubai.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now I told them, hey, I'm CrossFit L1 certified. Can I come and use it? They're like, okay, come. So when I went there was no classes going on. There's this amazing setup,
Space, yeah.
And I was like, why don't you guys take advantage of this? And I said, I'm here for 2 more weeks. I'll run some classes for you if you need. And they said, okay. So I showed up the next day. There's no one. And so I went downstairs into the bodybuilding section and I asked people, hey, you want to come and try a CrossFit session, blah, blah, blah. And it started that way, right? And meanwhile, I'm still in the middle of my career. Like I'm not planning to do this. I'm still playing professional golf. I'm still a member of the tours. And so that's how I was making a living. And one thing led to another. My visa got cancelled by like 2 or 3 weeks. Not cancelled, but delayed.
Right.
And so at about a month or two into this process, we had like 16, 17 people training over there, and they enjoyed it. And so I called my mom. I'm like, I'm gonna hang around here for a little while just to see where this goes, and that's literally where it started.
Wow.
And so I came with a little suitcase, and I never went back.
And you've been here ever since?
I've been over here ever since.
And cross-fitting people.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You know, what's remarkable is the fact that, you know, you come on a holiday and you still want to work out, which is brilliant practice. What happened to golf now?
I recently just started playing again. So I
Okay.
took like a 6-year hiatus from from competing. And so in like 3 months ago, I started competing again. I played the Sri Lankan Open last month. And so I'm going to start getting back into it. I enjoy it. Now it's not a career.
Yeah,
It's
now
not-
of course you can walk around the golf course. You can just walk around it 3 times if you want to.
And it's not. It's like when you're playing a sport for a living, it's a very different approach than when you're doing it for fun. You know,
That's true.
imagine you had to, play a sport and like food on the table was determined by how well you performed, right? And so it's like, and it's a day-to-day thing. It's not like your results are literally on the spot. If you fail today, you
know
make
it.
no money.
That's true.
You know, and so it's not like you get an income at the end of the month. So it's like a grind.
Amazing. Now, this CrossFit culture is definitely growing. A lot of people are finding community workout spaces, making life. They seem to be motivated, which is a great thing. I'm the least most fit person to speak about it, but I really do want to. When we do come back, do stick around this Danu. Welcome back to the show. It's Danu on Fire. We're speaking to Andy, especially about a CrossFit living standards. But I want to tell you, one of the reasons why we wanted to shoot it at Bowl is the fact that it's also about living good, healthy life, having a well-balanced life. That's the most important thing. Now tell me,
Yeah.
fitness has become it's a huge Instagram movement.
Yeah.
It's like you have to have it. It is something that people like to add to their day, and they're like, oh, we also worked out, and it has not only come as a thing that people like to do, but also like about a thing that they like to talk about.
Yeah, for sure.
This shift is a good thing, of course, but what do you do when people are doing the wrong thing?
I think one of the biggest things, and I talk about it all the time, right? The best thing is to find a coach. Because it
Okay.
would be like me trying to cut my own hair. I don't know what to do. I go to a
Right.
salon to cut my hair, obviously when I had hair, right? I mean, and so the thing is, like, whenever you're first starting, you need to find a coach because it's unreasonable to think that you know what you're doing, right? And so your best bet is find a coach and get the shortcuts because they're going to provide you the path of least resistance.
Right.
They'll tell you what to eat and how to eat. They'll tell you how important sleep is and how you can improve it. What kind of things you need to do in training to maximize the results that you're after, because everyone has a little bit of a different goal, right? Building muscle, losing fat, trying to get healthier require different things and different kind of calibrations in what you're doing. And so I think most of the time what I'll tell people is just find a coach. Find someone, do your research, ask them a lot of questions and figure out if this person is the right person for you and commit to 3 months. And after you commit for 3 months, you can make a decision. This person's good for me. Or maybe if they're a good coach, they will recommend you to a person that can actually help you if they can't help you.
Okay,
Right.
to take it further from there.
Yes, and sometimes like there are things like if someone want to be to improve their cricket or their sport, I would not take that thing on. I would say, hey, listen, there are people that do it better than me that specialize in this. Go to those guys, strength and conditioning people. And so I think the overarching thing is like just find someone to help you. Just find a coach to tell you how to do it.
Now, but there's also a lot of knowledge that is shared today online, and people tend to like do research about, oh, this is the right way to do it, this is not the right way to do it. But how do you sort of filter and get the right information that you actually need?
Yeah, so it's good. So I'm very adamant about filtering out stuff on Instagram. So I have what I call an echo chamber. So I have 7 people that I would consume information from, and it's only ever 7. if I need to put something in there, I have to figure out who is going to come out, right? And so
okay.
I'll do a little bit of research into who are the people. So right now I'm transitioning a lot from fitness to trying to operate and run my own business. And so a lot of the things I'm consuming is like, okay, I need to learn a lot about marketing, a lot about management, a lot about,
positioning your business. Yeah,
exactly. So all those things. And so a lot of my echo chamber is kind of a mix of fitness and that. And so I think it's very important to identify someone that is helping solve the specific problem that you're trying to solve.
Right.
If you're trying to lose weight, you should not really be following someone that's a bodybuilder trying to build muscle and try to go to Mr. Olympia,
Yeah.
right? You have to find someone that's talking about the things related to you. And then you need to vet them. You need to get 3 or 4 people and figure out, okay, I'm going to listen to all 3 or 4 of these people and I'm going to see, are there any common points? And inside of that, you can figure out, okay, they're all telling me to eat less, eat more protein, walk a little more, do some strength training. And then you'll find kind of like what the common things, because the basics are the basics. What happens in the fitness industry is people will talk about the basics, even if they're good at what they do, but then they'll throw in all this fancy
words
nonsense
and things that
stuff, and just to get eyeballs, right? And so that's where people get misled. They'll have this hook to get you in, and then they should start telling you, hey, sleep better, eat better, train better. Right? And so it's tricky, but I think it's a skill that is necessary now in the world, right? If you're dealing with social media, even if I wanted to, learn how to cook, there's so much nonsense cooking advice out there, right? And so I would have to go through this filtration process.
And I think this chamber is a great idea. I think in whatever you do in your life, you need to have opinions, but I think filtering it and having just 7 is a good thing. Yeah. If you can listen, that also will be great. I think. Listening to 7 people also is hard. But what do you think about Sri Lanka today? We do have a huge amount of malnourishment happening at one part of our country. Then you have another part of the country that is marginally obese. Where do you see our healthy lifestyle going?
So I think there are a couple of things, right? And I talked about this on a podcast recently. Basically, in the attempt to solve world hunger, we've created processed food, right? Processed food is easy to feed them. Easy to feed the masses with processed food.
Correct.
You can't feed the masses meat, vegetables, and nuts, seeds, and all that. Fancy food, like good healthy food. And so what's happened is you've created this processed food industry, which was initially built to feed the masses, and now what's happened?
Army.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and now
the
it's
World War.
creeped into kids' foods. Kids are eating cereal for breakfast, and this is food that we need to consume when food is scarce, right? And so it's bled into, and it's an educational process. It's like letting people know, hey, listen, the vegetables that you grow in your garden and the effort that you make can make a big difference in your life, right? And so meat is very expensive now, and so if you can, there are cheaper options, but if you can at least get a little bit of meat into your diet, right, whenever you can, or protein. I wouldn't some people are vegetarian, some people are vegans, but if you can get a good amount of protein and you get a good spread of vegetables, most people are going to see improved health outcomes from just doing that. And I think it's an education process, just letting everyone from the top, from the highest income earners, from the lowest income earners, and they should be teaching this in school. How do you manage your finances? How do you put together a plate of food that's nourishing?
And at the same time, that fits into your lifestyle and your budget. Now, we live in a world where everyone they don't care whether you're falling dead or alive. They just want you to do what you're supposed to do. I don't know, how has it been for you in sort of incorporating these personas who will come to you to get a workout in just before they go to work or after, to sort of even keep their companies informed? It's very important to have somebody who has seen a balanced life to have them at work.
I think the best thing is your results. If you deliver good results and you have solid testimonials, it'll bleed into, if I had a friend that got a really, again, let's go back to the hair, right? If I had hair, got a really good haircut, I'll be like, hey, where did you get that haircut
Correct.
from? I would go. And so for me, I always believe that if you get really good results, you will drive people in through the door and you will build reputation based on a positive impact in the community, right? And so, when people, it's not a joke to take someone from being severely overweight, unhealthy, pre-diabetic, cholesterol, blood pressure, and all that stuff, and make them get off medication. And that's a very powerful thing to do. And when you're able to do things like that, the news spreads, right? And so I think it's important, and I would even say to like just fitness practitioners in general, it's a very hard business to be in, right? Because people innately want results now.
Immediately,
right?
now, today,
Yeah.
I know.
And
If I can wake up then just to do this show,
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like the faster, it's like, and the thing is, the people that can get the best results will charge the highest amount, right? Because it's like if I was to say, hey, press this button, you would have six-pack abs in a second. You would pay millions for that,
Yeah.
right? But if I told you, hey, it's going to take 4 years, you're like, huh? How much is it? If it's cheap, you probably do it. If it's super expensive, you're like, that's too much time and effort.
That
for
is
me,
true.
right?
That is
And
true.
so I think. I think you're constantly trying to communicate and create systems and structures around trying to let people know, hey, it's going to take this much time. Here, this is the first milestone, we've hit it. So the next milestone
And that
is this.
should be your first
Yeah.
button.
Yeah.
And that
milestone,
that-
milestone,
yeah.
milestone. And
That's
then,
amazing.
Yeah.
I want to come back and speak to Andy about this one question. Is fat actually fat? We'll speak about it when we do come back. You stick around. This is Danu. Welcome back to the show in conversation with this man. And before we finish this show, I wanted to ask him, how fat is fat?
how fat is fat?
Yeah.
As in?
No, I just want to know, like, how do you define a person who is fat?
Huh. I mean, I don't think you'd want to put people in boxes like that, right? I mean, you can tell where people are when they're at a healthy body weight or
Okay.
at an unhealthy body weight.
But does it necessarily mean in terms of a body shape? Because sometimes somebody who is like, who looks bigger,
Yeah.
still is really fit, very active,
Yeah.
very out there, can equally like stand up in terms of stamina next to
Yeah.
you.
A lot of times fit and healthy should correlate, but a lot of times it does not correlate. So you could be really fit, but from a health standpoint, if you look at like blood sugar, blood cholesterol, you might be able to perform great physical feats, but that does not mean in your health biomarkers are doing
Good.
well, right? And so it's a misconception that someone that has a good body is healthy. A lot of times it does correlate, but it's not always going to correlate, right? And so I think really there's a couple of things what we do know is like fat or body fat is inflammatory. And so the more fat you have on your body, the more inflammation is present in the body, right? And so a lot of the diseases that we see pop up, the metabolic diseases like blood sugar, diabetes, cholesterol, blood pressure, and all that stuff, is mostly present when people have a lot of excess fat in the body. The more muscle you have, the less likely you are to have that inflammation and those things coming through. So there is a little bit of a correlation, but then you always want to check both body composition and health biomarkers regularly.
But even the person who is the fittest, who looks the sharpest, can just fall dead.
100%, you see it happen all the time.
I know, and that's what's more scary, because you sort of easily define people and put them into these boxes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
So when they come to you, like for CrossFit, do you sort of check their body and see, okay, are they physically fit to jump 30 times, then run 100 times?
Yeah,
I
so
don't know.
we start with a 45-minute consultation. So everyone
Right.
that walks in the gym is a one-on-one consultation, and for the first 30 days, you have a coach on your file. So they're
Right.
guiding you through this whole process. We monitor sleep, we monitor nutrition, we monitor lifestyle, stress factors, and all that stuff. And
Just curiosity,
Yeah,
do I take somebody home in terms of monitoring for sleep?
I mean, it depends. You have to talk to them.
Right.
Yeah, you'll have to talk to them. Yeah, so I mean, we basically just ask, hey, what have you done in the past? Where are you now? Where do you want to go? Right, and we just kind of create a roadmap or a blueprint for them to say, if you do these 3 or 4 things every single day for the next 3 to 4 months, this is likely the result, because look at X, Y, and Z people that we've worked with previously that was in a similar situation to you. They did those things and they arrived at this.
Right.
So based on what we know and what we've done in the past, that if you do these 3 or 4 things, you're going to get this result.
Okay.
And so as we coach more people and we have more iterations of it, we're developing a stronger system to deliver the results that people actually want.
So what's next for CrossFit? Like, are you taking it bigger,
Yeah,
better?
we obviously want to do the online game, because it opens up a bunch of different markets. We want to do a lot of collaborations with different coaches because when like CrossFit by its design is a bunch of different sports put together, right? So you have weightlifting, gymnastics, rowing, running, and all that stuff, right? And powerlifting. And so we want to do a lot of collaborations. We want to expand, obviously, scale up, serve more people, and really just impact the community in a positive way. That's the biggest thing. And our motto is unifying health, performance, and aesthetics, because we know that everyone doesn't want one of these things. At some point in your life, you're gonna get to a point in your life where you want good health outcomes, you want to look good, right? And you want to be able to perform well, right? And so I think unifying those three things has become what we're trying to do, and impact over everything. We want to, because that the fitness industry is full of a lot of garbage, right? And we want to make sure that we can help people navigate through the garbage and say, hey, listen, all of this stuff is cool, but here, do these few things. These are the important stuff, right?
For somebody who is, sticking to the usual thing, get a membership, go to the gym, and what would you say is different about going out there and doing CrossFit, using your own body weight at times?
Coaching, right? And so let's say you come to the gym, you will never do a session without a coach, without guidance. Yeah. Everything is structured in a way where we're taking you from point A to point B in a structured manner.
And it's like 1 hour and you're done.
1 hour, that's it. I mean, if you want to do some extra work, like some mobility, maybe some accessory work, like a lot of guys want to get their arms stronger, so they do some bicep curls and tricep extensions after that.
Not strong, just for the visual element to it.
Yeah, exactly. And so some people want abs, so they do a few extra core exercises after classes, mobility work. And so I think 45 minutes to an hour should be as much as anyone needs to do, right?
And also, how frequent for a week?
The minimum effective dose that we recommend is 3 sessions per week, right? 3 strength sessions per week. And if you have any extra sessions, we recommend doing some sort of slow, steady state cardio. That's the good starting point. Obviously, as you get fitter, as you get more conditioned, as you start to perform a little better, you can start increasing the frequency, the volume, and the intensity of what you're doing. But there should be a minimum effective dose, which is what we believe is around 3, right? And so if you do 3 sessions per week and you do I'll tell you what, if you do 3 strength sessions per week and you walk 60 minutes every day and you eat a diet that's high in protein, you're going to get insane results in a month. It'll automatically. Those are our 3 non-negotiables that we say. When you come in this program, these are 3 things you want to do if you want to lose body weight. If you do these 3 things and do this for the next 60 days, it'll be totally unreasonable for you not to lose weight if you commit to it. And it's not even it's not magic. It's just anyone that has done it, those are the things that they did. And there are obviously other things that you sprinkle on.
Yeah.
But those are the basics.
You make it sound like baking a cake.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Easier than baking a cake.
I know.
You just got to do it every day.
Great. Well, on that note, we need to wrap things up. If you do have more questions, you could always reach out to him. They're accessible online. We need to say thank you to our friends here at Bowl, because they have treated us to a yummy place with good food. Thank you so very much. We'll follow up with you soon, and I can lose some of those pounds there. We will see you soon. Till then, you keep smiling. It's a wrap on Danu.